Good morning guys. This is Anthony Edge from Edge Academy. Changed location today. We're back home in our apartment, in our studio. The girls kicked me out of the salon today. Salon's busy, getting ready for the holidays. Salons are still open. Touching wood that everything stays open over the holidays. And the girls are busy today, so we said, look, you can do your videos, but you've got to go back home. So we're live on 2 devices again. We're going to be live on Instagram, and we're also live on Facebook. Okay, so if you don't follow us and you don't know much about Edge Academy, you can check more of Edge on our website at edge74.com. We have classes basically. We're an educational advanced kind of haircutting company out of San Diego, and I run the education with my gorgeous wife. So we have a team of girls who work for us, and then we do different educational classes. So we do 1 day, 2 day and 3 day classes. All right, live out of our academy here in San Diego. And then if you can't get to San Diego in person, then we do some free education like this online, and then also we've been doing some online courses where you pay for those. Okay, but today what we did, yesterday we came on same time yesterday, and we did a long layered haircut. Right, so seamless layers we did yesterday. So yesterday we came up with an idea over the weekend and said let's do 3 days and 3 haircuts. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we're going to be live at 9:30 Pacific time, California time. So we're on again tomorrow, and we did one yesterday, seamless layers, which was basically this is the haircut from yesterday. So it's left long, it's created a little bit of face framing through the front, and then it's really long layers internally. Okay, we worked it on dry hair, so we did a bit of a dry cutting. We were kind of like reaching out to all our friends and followers and said, what would you like to see? And a lot of people said, look, I'd like to see a dry haircut, Sometimes we like to do a bit of dry cutting. So we did that yesterday. And then requested, again, another dry cut. People are like, you know what, we really enjoyed seeing that yesterday. It was a different approach and just cutting it on dry. So, as you can see, the mannequin's dry, all right? So what we're going to do, we're going to do another dry haircut, but we're going to do like a lob, all right? So a little bit longer than a bob. A little bit of like a lob kind of shape, introducing some layering. So for me, I would call it a layered bob, or if you prefer it a little bit longer, a layered lob. All right, and that's what we're going to be working on today. That's the inspiration of the haircut today. So keeping it just below the plastic of the mannequin's neck, so it's not going to be like a short bob or anything like that. It's going to be like a bit more of a mid-length, and that's what we wanted to design over the 3 days. So we came up with this idea of 3 haircuts, 3 days for free, so anyone can just come in and tune in and watch. And so we did a long one, and then we thought we'll do a mid-length, and then tomorrow we'll chop it all off and do a short haircut. All right, so again, there's something there for everybody. If you do long hair clients, you could go back and watch the video from yesterday. If you do more, but you've got quite a few mid-lengths, people who are a little bit bored of like long hair or short hair and they want that middle length, then you could follow this haircut today. Or if you're really focused on short hair, then you could literally watch tomorrow's haircut as well. Okay, so let's crack on. All right, we're going to take you through it step by step. It's quite a quick, simple technique. And when it's simple and quick, then you're not afraid to use it behind the chair in the salon. Okay, so in a real life scenario, if you've coloured this, if you've done like highlights or placement of colour, and then you've come back from the back bar, you might have blow dried it. You might have got this all blow dried nice and smooth, and then you're really prepping the hair first. So making sure that the hair has got like a smoothing cream, a straightening product in there, maybe an oil or a serum, something that's going to glide through. Okay, leave-in conditioners, things like that, heat protection spray. And then once you put all that in and blow dried, then you can literally then decide how much you want to cut off. If you don't do a lot of dry cutting and you're like, I don't really do this, then you would have this wet. Okay guys, I'm not here to dictate, I'm just here to share something fresh. And over the last 6 months, 8 months, we haven't done any dry cutting. And for me as an educator, I'm always getting like, what do I do next? What do I do next? So in a way, it's kind of refreshing when our audience said, yeah, we really enjoyed yesterday's haircut and a dry haircut, so can you do another one? So I was like, yeah, okay, you can get away with doing a dry haircut on this length of hair today. All right, so you basically, if it was wet or it was dry, okay, you would then literally work in a centre parting from the forehead down to the nape. Then literally working in a radial, I call this, like a radial parting from the crown to the top, just behind the ear. We want to make sure it's behind the ear. It's not on top of the ear, so it's just behind the ear, okay? A little parting there. And I think everyone can see that on the profile. A few people waving and saying good afternoon and good evening, depends on where you are. All right, here it is good morning. It's good morning from San Diego. All right, I'm at home, no one's here. Tallulah, our little girl, is at school. Gloria and the rest of the team are in the salon, and I'm in the den basically doing a live video for you all. Alright, so what we've done here now is literally split the hair into like kind of 3 boxes in a way. You've got a centre parting, then you've got a radial, and then we've just clipped out a side and a side. Okay, so there's 2 clips in the front, and then the back is all natural fall, all falling down. Alright, so we're going to layer this first. So some of you might be like, oh, I just want to cut it off into the lob. Okay, if you prefer to do that, you could literally do section by section and then comb that down to natural fall and decide what sort of length you want to take your perimeter. But I want to create it as a different approach. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the client to put a head down. So if this was in a real scenario, hello from Belgium. Hello, Belgium. Okay. If you put the client's head down, so in a real life scenario, she could be on an iPad, she could be on her phone, she could be, you know, falling asleep. All right, so the trick is really just to put her head slightly forward. All right, so for the guys on Instagram or Facebook, you can see that nice little profile, how she's literally got her head coming down. All right, so her head is slightly down, okay. And now we're going to introduce a layer. So I'm going to work a centre section right through the middle. My elevation is 90 to over directed. And what that means is basically I'm going to bring all the hair up to the ceiling, okay, with a head down. So a head is going to be down, but I'm bringing everything. So I'm not bringing it 90 from the head, I'm bringing it off the head shape. So, all right, so what's going to happen, you're going to create a layer going from shorter to longer. But instead of creating the layer with your fingers, you're doing it with the head shape instead. All right, so you're going to go straight off from the head, yeah, like you say, up to the ceiling. Okay, so straight up to the ceiling, and then you decide how short you want to take this. All right, I'm working with the larger scissors again today. Yesterday I did the same, working with the 7s. I prefer to work with a larger scissor when I'm doing some dry cutting, but that's again personal preference. And then we'll drop that down, and then before you carry on, let's just check and see where that layer is going to fall. So you can put your client's head up now, upright, and you can start to see where the crown is, that's where your layer is, and then let that fall down. That layer is now just sitting underneath the O bone, okay, and I've got to think that I can let it stick out a little bit there so you can see where the layer is falling. Yeah, and then you've got to think that where am I going to take that length to? I'm going to take that length to there. Alright, so that layer for me personally, from the top of the head to where the length is going to go to, is about halfway. So I'm kind of happy with that because that's very commercial and very salon friendly. If this girl turned around to me and said, I want an edgy haircut, I want it a little bit like funkier, then take another 2 inches off that layer. What will that do? It'll give a little bit more texture, a little bit more volume. It'll look a little bit, it looks slightly disconnected in a way. It won't be disconnected, but it would look like it. Okay, so again, what you see and what I see are always going to be different, and that's what I love about our industry. We all, you know, there's loads of us who are watching this now, who we all cut hair, we approach a haircut in different ways, and it's kind of nice that you can just see something a bit fresh. So, head slightly forward again, okay, so the head is down, and everything is on the base, okay, everything's on the base, and we're just literally point cutting through square. So the technique is a square layer with the head down. Okay, so my elevation, yeah, is 90 to over directed. Okay, so where am I over directed? I'm over directing the perimeter. Okay, so my distribution is 90 to over direct. The way I'm combing the hair is also 90 to over direct. So I'm over directing, so to maintaining a a nice square line all the way through there. Okay, and then I'm just going to continue working vertical sections. Okay, so vertical. I'm not pulling into the middle, so I'm not pulling into the middle. If I was working on finer density of hair, then you know this is where you can start to customize and tailor-make the haircut for your client's needs. Okay, so in this case I'm not, I'm just literally on the base. Okay, so you can see there, I moved there. I made sure I wore a grey shirt today, guys, because sometimes you see educators and we wear a lot of black as a hairdresser, and you're doing, you know, dark hair with a black shirt on, you won't be able to see what I'm cutting. So I think it's kind of nice where you can start to see the actual shape, what we're doing there. And if I step away, you can just literally just point cut through there. Okay, and we'll just continue working to the hairline. Okay, so you just literally work into the hairline. So like I said before, the elevation, distribution is 90 to over directed, and we're point cutting, okay, to give it a little bit of softness, because we want a choppy bob. Okay, so the technique here, we're just joining in, we're working on a layered bob. Alright, and what we want to do here, we're just point cutting. And when I'm point cutting, as you can see, I'm point cutting a little bit away from my fingers, because you can be the best hairdresser in the world, but we can still catch ourselves. Yeah, especially when you bought a brand new pair of scissors, and you're like, and you just catch yourself. Alright, so these are just literally pulling everything up, okay, and you're maintaining a square line. That's what we're looking for here, looking for a square line all the way through, okay, and then we comb that down, and what we're doing here is introducing a nice layer all the way through. Okay, what I love about this layer, you could even do this on long hair, so if you've got a client who wants to maintain a length, you could do this layering pattern as well. Because working on a mannequin, you know, and I can just spin the mannequin around and change my body position that way. Okay, so I just want to make sure I've got the right camera angles for you all. Alright, and then exactly the same now. My distribution, yeah, is 90. So over directing up, and I'm just going to work the opposite side exactly the same. Okay, so you're over directing. Everything's coming to the ceiling, so the easiest way to explain this haircut is literally working vertical sections. You're pulling everything from the crown up to the ceiling, so right up to the ceiling now. Okay, so get it right to the ceiling, and then you literally just point cut that through, following the guideline from the middle. Okay, you follow that guideline, keeping the client's head down. Okay, you don't need to put it right down the client's head, it's just got to be forward. Okay, and then straight on the base. Like I said, and we wanted to do a dry cut. It's amazing how everyone was like, I love the dry cut yesterday. It's something that I do. We had a lot of good feedback yesterday from yesterday's demonstration. A lot of people were like, yeah, I do a lot of colour, I focus on colour. I'm not really a hair cutter. Yesterday's haircut was fantastic. It just made it so simple, where I do my balayage, I do my ombre, I blow dry it, and then my client says, can you just tidy it up a little bit? You know, I don't really want a full haircut, but how can I make it look good? And that's what yesterday's haircut was all about, is focusing on, you know, that kind of haircut for like, for coloured hair clients. Okay, so just literally point cut through, everything up to the ceiling. Okay, making sure that you don't get your fingers. So like I say, like that's right on top of the guideline now. So making sure that your finger is below the guide, and you can get that nice and choppy all the way through. Okay, then you can drop that down, and you'll start to see when I bring your head back up now. Say like, okay darling, bring your head back up. Alright, just tighten that up because we've got here. Now all of a sudden it's kind of nice even leaving it that long. So some of you might look at this now on a profile and go, actually I love that layer. That looks really good on long hair. Because basically what you've done, you've just created like a lot of layers in a long haircut. And what does that look like nowadays? A shag. You know, it's really popular where people are saying, look, I want a layer. I want lots and lots of layers. It looks very 70s inspired, because what was really hot in the 70s was layering. You know, so, you know, more layers, create more volume, more texture. Alright, so some of you might look at that and go, I love that layer, because basically what that does is shorter, to longer. So if you're a cross checker now and you love to cross check, what you could do, you could just literally just check this through, and what you're looking for is shorter all the way to longer. And you think, wow, how good is that? So instead of angling your fingers, say for example doing this, and then trying to angle your finger to get it perfect, yeah, you just put the client's head down and do a square layer. And you're like, what? Why did no one ever show me that before? Alright, so really, really simple, alright, because then it just gives a nice seamless layer like we talked about yesterday. And what seamless means, it means you can't see a shelf in there. So look, if I spin this mannequin around, if I shake that out, you can't see the layer starting or finishing. It just looks really seamless. So it's no shelf, there's no weight line, it's just a really commercial, salon friendly layer. Okay, so that's what I love about this kind of cheeky technique. Alright, I'm always here just to share something new and fresh. Okay, and you know, if I stop learning, I'm bored, then I know I'm going to have to give up being an educator. So I'm always trying new things out. Some things don't work, some things do. Yeah, when we're doing our collection, and I play on mannequins a lot of the time like this, play with different shapes, different ideas. If it works, then that's how we put it into the collection. And every year we bring out a new collection of haircuts, new shapes, new ideas, new approaches. Why? Because it inspires me, it inspires my team, it inspires our followers and all our clients who come. We have people travelling from all over the world coming to our academy. Yeah, we have people all the time coming to our academies for all our classes, and we have people who come like twice a year now. You know, twice a year they come, like, you know, part of the year, and then they will wait 4 months later, they come back to the academy, and they're always seeing something fresh. They're always seeing something a bit different. Okay, so that's what I love. You know, it's never always the same at our school. Okay, so once we've done that, you can see like we've got shorter, going to longer. Some of you might be like, oh, I just want to keep it long. You know, if you want to keep it long, you can do. But like we said before, we're going to do a lob. All right, so like a little bob. So what I'm going to do now, because it's layered and you've taken out all the weight internally, yeah, all this doesn't reach. Look, see, it only reaches to here. So I can get away with cutting that perimeter in one go now. So I'm just going to get on my knee, all right, a little bit, and I'm just going to comb that down. That's the best angle you can see this. Okay, I'm going to work it through my comb, all right, and I'm just going to literally just point cut through the comb, nice and choppy, all right, and I'm going to decide how much I want to take off that length. If you prefer to work through your fingers, you're more than welcome to. If you want to work a bit more of a stronger perimeter, you could work it all blunt. Again, a personal choice. What you see and what I see are always going to be slightly different. Okay. All right. So that's what I love about this. So it's literally just bringing up that length now. Okay. So we're not taking it really, really short. Like I said earlier, we're doing more like a grown-out bob or a lob. You know, something a little bit more modern. You just eliminate all that length now because the layer doesn't reach. So we're just combing it all down so it's natural fall. If you want to, you could have a cheeky check through your fingers. You want to make sure you're 100% happy. Nice and choppy all the way through. If you want it even looser and you want it more choppier, yeah, what you could do then, you could go in and do some point cutting. So you could literally just divide that through and see there, and then you could just do some little bit of deep point cutting if you wanted to, just to break that up. If you wanted just to break that up a little bit, you're more than welcome to break that up. Break that up. And then when I move that around, you can start to see that it's not as layered now, because I took the layers short enough that it's going to balance. So look, I pick that layer up now, drop that down. Where's that sitting? That halfway. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to keep the layers really commercial and really salon friendly. So the layer now is around about halfway from that length. So if this is not funky enough, if the client said, I wanted it a bit more funkier, you just go in and take more off the layer. Okay, so there we are, just moving that around. We've worked in that kind of lob perimeter. and then, you know, obviously that shaggy little commercial layer. Alright, so let's crack on to the front now. That's all the back done, guys. It's really, really simple. A few waves out there. Leash Manning, hello. You're watching with Paul Hewson. Hi, Paul. How are you, mate? Two of my friends from England, from Blackpool. Hi. Nice to see you guys. Definitely using this tip. Kelly. Yeah, hi, Kelly. How are you, Kelly? All the way in Philadelphia, just outside Philly, or outside New Jersey, out that way. How are you, Kelly? Hope all is well. Hope you're enjoying your Edge shears. Hope you're using them a lot at this busy time of the year. Okay, so we're literally just combing everything down to its natural fall. We've decided on the actual length. So the length is finished, the layering pattern's finished. What you could do now, you could literally go back into the layer and customize, because we're working on a dry haircut. So what you could do, if this was wet hair, you would do this at the end of the haircut. But we're working on more of a dry haircut today, so dry cutting. So literally, look, you just comb that through now, and you could just literally go through and just do a little bit of deep point cutting. All right, deep point cutting about 2 inches into the hair, just to give it a little bit more of a shattered, layered bob. But again, what you see and what I see are going to be slightly different. Okay, so don't just break it up ever so slightly. All right. Some of you might want to go in and slice this and break it up even more. You're more than welcome to. You can do. All right. But I love what we've got going on there. I think that's very commercial. A lot of girls out there will go, yeah, I'll have that haircut. Right. So now we're going to go into the front. Okay. So in front of the radial. So what we're going to do now. So we'll take those clips out. Good thing about this haircut, you need 2 clips or 1 clip. Alright, how many times I've done a haircut and it's like, okay, you need about 8 clips to do the actual technique. So what we're going to do now is I'm working a large triangle section. Okay, I'm just going to work a large triangle. So it's literally going from the radial, right, going from the parting, and it's going towards the recession area. I know we're working on a mannequin today, or a dolly head, however you want to call them. All right, and literally I would go to the recession area, and then we'll just literally just clip out this large triangle through the top. So I'll just twist this out the way, twist, 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 and then we clip that out the way there. Okay, and then everything else is just hanging down. So let's just show you what that looks like, that little triangle. So look, if I put a head down, be able to see to the recession area, it's diagonally towards the radial parting. Okay, and we just isolate the top out the way. Right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to create kind of the short to long layer again. So instead of having a head up like this and then following the shape what you've just cut by doing this and getting the angle like that, making it difficult, what we're going to do here is we're going to get her to put a head over to one side again. So we're going to get her to put a head over. So it's all about getting your client to move the head and get them involved a little bit. So first at the back, the head was down, and on the sides, the head's going to go slightly over to one side and slightly over to one side. This is going to be quick because, as we all know, a client doesn't want to sit in the chair being uncomfortable, yeah, and being a bit weird, yeah, by going like this, having a haircut. So, in a way, when you come on to do the sides, you just literally just get the client to move ahead, and you do it bum bum bum, and then it's done. And then it's over to one side, bum bum bum, and it's done. You don't take your time with it, you know, it's not a lot of hair anyway. When you think about it, you're going from the radial, and you're just literally working to the front hairline. So there's not a lot of hair there, okay? Depends on the density of your client's hair as well. If it's kind of weak and fine, you could do that in one section if it's fine hair. If it's thicker hair, you might need to take 2 or 3 sections. All right. As we all know, as hairdressers, you know, some densities of hair take a lot longer to do, and some people's hair takes forever to do because it's a lot more hair. Okay, so we're going to take the guideline from behind the ear. So you have a guideline, and you're basically bringing everything to the ceiling. Okay, so if I pull that back so everyone can see the elevation. So my distribution my elevation is 90 to over directed, because what's going to happen now, I'm pulling back, I'm coming off the base, guys. I want it to leave it longer through the front. So I'm using the guideline. So if I drop that down, you'll be able to see there's the guideline. That's behind the radial. This is a square layer, okay? So it's all to the ceiling. So it's lifted to the ceiling, okay? And then I'm coming off the base, so I'm over directing back and I'm just point cutting through. I'm just point cutting it all through. Okay, and then I'll just let drop all that hair down. Okay, now what I'm going to do now, take another vertical section. I come off the base, so I'm over directing it back to me. So it's coming towards me, so I'm travelling. So everyone has different terminology, depends on where you've been trained and who's trained you. So look, I'm over directing back, and then I'm point cutting through. I'm point cutting through, and keeping it all nice and square. Okay, and then my last section off the base, so it's travelling away from the client's face. It's coming all the way back to behind the ear. Okay, so that's stationary guideline. So stationary means it doesn't move. So everything comes back to behind the ear, and you work it as a square layer, but with the head slightly tilted, like this. Okay. Right, so let's go back through, just check it. I love to cross check quickly, you know, so let's just quickly check, make sure you're 100% happy with the technique. Okay, working on a dry cutting technique, but if you prefer to cut this wet, you're more than welcome to. Alright, we just got requested over the weekend to do a couple of dry cuts. So yesterday we did our first long one, which was dry cutting. And then we've just done a mid-length shape today, like a little layered bob. Okay, right, so that's our section done. We can even go in and do a little bit of customizing now if you wanted to. So maybe a little bit of deep point cutting, just ever so slightly. I don't want to get carried away with that because it's kind of finer through the front. Okay, and then we drop that down. And then this is the time where you can pop the head up now, just like quickly upright. Right, you want to cross check it. You want to check, see what you've done. So what you've just done, let's have a look. Okay, so let's pull it out, and you will see straight away it's shorter to longer. Okay, so instead of trying to do that angle, the head's done it for you. All right, so that's all layered all the way through. Okay, looks beautiful. And like I said before, you could do this on longer hair if you wanted to. I've just decided to do a little bit of a lob. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to get it to pop her head over to one side, okay, slightly over, and then you just work vertical section, and we come off the base. Everything comes back to behind the ear, and we point cut through square. Quite a few people waving. This is a live, guys. If you didn't realise, this is actually live. You're watching live from my apartment today. All right, we're in our apartment, we're in our den. The girls are really busy in the salon. They kicked me out. They said, look, you can't do 9:30 live demonstration. We've got clients. So I literally ran over to the academy this morning, grabbed my mannequin, my lights, set up in our little den, and I'm live here. So we'll just do it before. We'll do 3 days and 3 haircuts, all for free. All right, just to say thank you guys for, you know, supporting us in this bloody crazy year. But you know, all our education was postponed and cancelled. We did a few little events throughout lockdowns, and you know, we've been busy doing some free stuff like this. So it's kind of nice to give back to our industry. So that's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to support you all by giving you back some free education, keep you motivated, inspired. Okay, it's all about sharing the love. Okay, so just everything back. All right, so that's got, just to recap what we're doing. We're just literally coming off the base, all back to behind the ear, and then working square. So everything's going to the ceiling. It's going up to the ceiling. So think about the ceiling. Yeah, you're not following the head shape. You're coming to the ceiling. You're creating like a corner. Okay, and then it's all off the base. So it's all coming back. Alright, so let's just check a few little waves there. Hello guys, a lot of people joining in. Okay, so once you've done that, we can go back in now and customise a little bit. So a little bit of deep point cutting. So someone's just asked what scissors are we using. These are the 7s. These are our 7-inch scissors from Edge. Yeah, I like these for customising, personalising, scissor over comb. I like to use a 7. If I was doing this on wet hair and I wasn't doing a dry haircut, alright, I wasn't doing a dry haircut today and this is all wet, maybe I would use the 6.25s, okay? So if you don't know, we do make scissors, alright, we have scissors in our collection. These are the 7s, offset, Hitachi Japanese steel, and then we also have our 6.25s. They're in the Black Friday sale. So if you are looking for a new shear, you've got a friend who's a hairdresser and she's looking for a new shear or new scissor, you know, we have a Black Friday sale going on, and there's going to be $150 off the shears, which is great. Also, we have our famous orange edge comb, okay? Beautiful, used backstage at all the fashion shows around the world. A lot of the top hairdressers around the world, session stylists, quite a few celebrities have even got them as well. So really a hot item is our comb. We have a deal on that. We never usually discount the comb ever because it's so popular. But we are doing a bundle where you buy 5 and you get them a lot cheaper. Okay, so if you want the Assets code for our website for the Black Friday sale, just let us know and I'll send you the code. Okay, and you can look at all the deals. We've also got education discounted as well. Okay, so let's check the balance now. I think some of you have noticed when I'm picking it up the hair like this, I was just literally just checking the balance. This is a nice thing for the client to see, to check the balance all the way through. What you've done there, it's shorter internally, so it's shorter here and it's longer at the bottom. Okay, so what we're going to do now, like you might look at that and go, I actually love that length. You know, this is a really nice layer to do on long hair. It is, guys, try it. On long hair, client with the head down and everything to the ceiling, and then head over to one side, up to the ceiling, up to the ceiling. It's nice and long hair, but we wanted to do something more of a lob today. So that's how we literally go through. So what we're going to do now, we're going to just connect in the perimeter. So I cut the perimeter already at the back. As you can see, it's already shorter there. And we're just going to literally just cut that off. All right, so if you wanted to work it A-line, do you want to work it square? It's honestly up to you. So just keeping the client's head position upright. We're going to comb it down to its natural fall. And I'll just literally just point cut that through the comb. I'm going to keep that really nice and loose. All right, so I'm just working through the comb and then just point cutting through. So keeping it really commercial. Really salon friendly. Okay. Got so many clients I'm thinking of now who would have this haircut. Okay, and I think that's what's good about education. When you're watching this now, as a hairdresser, you might be thinking, oh, I know somebody who'll have this haircut. I can't wait to try this out in the salon this week. You know, and that's what's good about our education. It's not about haircuts where you're like, no one's going to have that. That's really weird. Start the car. You know, our education is all about salon friendly. You know, this year's collection, when we designed it, moving, I don't know if any of you have seen this year's collection, it's posted all over our website at edge74.com. We invest a lot of money in our collection. You know, it costs a lot of money to shoot 9 girls, makeup, photography, fashion clothes. You know, it costs a lot of money to do a collection. Some of you out there probably do NAHA or different awards, and you already know how expensive it is to do an award, do pictures. And you know, when we do this, this year's collection was all about, I wanted the client to fall in love with it more than the hairdresser. So, you know, I showed girls who are not hairdressers and said, look, do you like this collection? And they all loved it. And I think that's what I loved about it more than ever. Is a lot of clients were like, oh, I love the collection, it's really nice, really salon friendly. Okay, so there you have it, got a little lob going on there. You know, if you wanted to take this shorter, you're more than welcome to. If you want to leave it longer, again, it's up to you as well. All right, so nice little layered bob so far, guys. All right, So just to recap, if you're just joining in, what we've done is we popped client's head down. Okay, we worked behind the radio, we put our head down, and everything literally came off the head to square, keeping a corner here, so it's all square layers, travelling all the way through, okay, so on the base, all the way through there, and then we popped her head up, and that would have created a layering pattern going from short to long. Then we did the sides, and the sides literally we pulled her head over to one side, and then we again worked square, and then the opposite side we worked square, okay, and that's how we've finished through the underneath. So now what do we do with the top? Okay, so we're just literally going to connect the top in. So I'm going to clip the sides out the way, we'll get another clip, okay, and we'll just clip those sides out the way like that, but it will be connected through, alright, so I am connecting it, so there's going to be a slight disconnection on the sides, but the overall feeling is going to be connected. Right, so this is the large triangle, what we basically left out. Okay, we're going to layer this, so I'm going to work on a profile, so put it on a side, and we're literally going to connect it through with the crown. So I'm going to go centre section, and this is where you can get a little bit more individual. Alright, so if your client wears it on the left hand side or the right hand side, she wears a strong parting, or her hair naturally falls into a parting, instead of working this first section in the middle, I'd work it through the natural parting. So in this case, I'm working this through the centre, as you can see. But if you've got a client who's slightly off centre, or she wears it over to one side, then you literally work your first section over to one side. So that what I'm trying to say is you can work with an offset or an offset layer, where it would be literally working from the natural parting. In this case, I like it where it's more versatile, so the client can wear it different ways. I'm a big believer of that. I love to have haircuts where it's, you know, the client gets a lot of different looks out of it. And you can see the short piece from the crown. Okay, that's the short piece. I'm going to connect it into that short piece. That's my guideline. Okay, so my guideline is the crown. Okay, so I lift that up and I elevate away from the face, and I use that short piece as my guide. So just before, hopefully everyone can see that. You can see the short piece there, guys, yeah? And then literally I'm just going to pull away from the face. So what I'm trying to desire here is literally leaving it longer through the front. Okay, so I'm coming away from the face. You see this hair on the face coming to the front hairline. The front hairline is over-directing. So I'm over-directing. So what that means, it's going longer towards the face. Connected through, and then what we're going to do now is give it a little bit more softness within that triangle. I'm going to come off the base and I'm going to invert everything into the middle. Okay, so I'm doing one side of the triangle. Okay, so keeping that down. Okay, so I'm just literally working one side and I'm over directing, coming off the base into the middle. Okay, and it's working from shorter at the crown to longer at the front. Okay, so it's connected from the layer and it's going from shorter to longer. Okay, if your client said I want more layers, you know, I want it a lot more layered, yeah, then you could work this square. You don't need to work it from short to long. You could work it all square if you wanted to, create more of a layering pattern through the top. Then I'll spin my client around, make it a bit easier for the camera angle, and I'm still working within the triangle. Okay. So if you can see, that's why I put the clip there. Alright, so just make sure that I'm not kind of over directing any of this hair. So I'm just working within the triangle, the large triangle, coming off the face there. And like I said before, if you wanted to do this wet, you can do. But we just literally did a whole haircut, dry cut. Okay, and then I'm going to grab all that in one go now, all this large triangle. I'm going to grab it all in one go. Grab all that triangle. I want to make sure it's absolutely perfect. Alright. Just lifting that up. And what you're looking for here, guys, is shorter to longer. Longer being at the front. So let's come away so everyone can see. There we go. There we have it. So if there's any little bits. Okay. shorter to longer, perfect. And then what I can do now, I can go back in and just take a little bit of weight out through there. Just a little bit of deep point cutting. Like I said before, it's a shattered, layered bob. Alright, so we want it broken up a little bit. So it's all broken up. Hey. Now you can take clips out the sides and we're coming to the end of the haircut. How simple is that? What time are we on? Just gone 10 o'clock here in California. We started at just gone 9:30. So we've been going, what, 30 minutes, 35 minutes? Yeah, step by step, a lot of cutting, a lot of explaining what we're doing. Yeah, but imagine this in a salon situation. You're not doing a live demonstration, you're just cracking on with it. You could do this in 20 minutes, this haircut. Okay, this is a really simple, commercial, everyday haircut. Okay, and then we literally just tidy up any little bits which are going to fall down from the front. It's just inspired like a little lob, so we wanted to work on a layered lob, or layered bob, whatever you prefer to call it. Checking that front now, anything from the front. If you've got a client who wants to have a fringe, she wants to have some more shape through this front area, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, you just move it around, have a look at it, see what you like, see what you don't like. It is a mannequin, she's not going to bite. Alright, and I just feel that is so salon friendly, so commercial. It's not weird, nothing weird going on. It's just a layered bob all the way through. You can wear it different ways. That's what I love about it. You can wear it different ways, however she wants to wear it. And that's the haircut completed. Alright, really simple. There's lots of ladies out there who will probably say, look, I just want to get rid of some of my length. I love my long hair. I don't want to go to a pixie, I don't want to go short, but I don't mind something like this. This is really nice, yeah, really salon friendly, very commercial. We did a haircut yesterday, so if you didn't see yesterday's haircut, we did a seamless layer yesterday. It was a long haircut, dry cutting again, really simple. And then today we got requested again to do another dry haircut, so I said, yeah, let's do another dry haircut then. Alright, so it was all prepped from yesterday, and this is again really salon friendly. It's a little, basically, a lob, layers all the way through. Some of you might never have seen that technique before, where you put the head down and create a square layer, put the head over to one side, create a square layer. It's just a really simple technique of creating a layer going from shorter to longer. So instead of like angling your fingers and changing your body like this and going from long to short, get the client to do the work for you by popping the head over to either side. Alright, on behalf of everybody at Edge, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Remember, we've got our Black Friday sale going on, so if you want the access code to look at discount on our shears, combs and education, leave us a message and we'll send you the access code. You can have a look at some of the deals, what we're doing over the weekend. We have lots of education planned from start of January all the way through till May. All the dates are in now. We've got 1 day, 2 day and 3 day education at our academy. If any of you want a brochure, we've got our new brochure out with all the prices, all the classes. Send us, just leave us a message and we can send you a brochure with all our education and what we're doing next year. But on behalf of everyone at Edge, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got inspired by this little layered lob. It's a little layered bob or lob, whatever you want to prefer to call it. But have a fantastic day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe and we'll see you again tomorrow for a short haircut. So basically tomorrow we're going to chop all this off. Alright, 9:30 in California tomorrow. We're going to take this to our little haircut. But thanks guys, stay safe for now. Love you all. Bye bye.